one thing to consider when you're considering whether you believe in evolution or the Bible, something I just thought of. What about dog breeds? What about human species? If you think about it, humans have separated themselves, selected intentionally for traits that makes us look very different from one another, from different parts of the world. We have really unique characteristics. I don't know if you find that in as much diversity in other species, but we've also done that to the dogs as well. Like the animals we're interested in, we just have like this interest in selecting genetically for like cool stuff. Like we're not as functional as the animals. We're a little more frivolous sometimes with our genetic selection. So, because we're just good at surviving, so we don't need to be as functional, I would guess. So, but then we are also good at helping the dogs survive. We're good at keeping other animals alive around us, domesticated animals, and so we can select for those. The cows, we've selected for lots of different kinds of traits, and lots of different breeds and like stuff like that. But it's still a cow. It's still a dog. I mean, no matter how much, and think about how much selective breeding we have done with the dog. I mean, we're not even going to talk about us, like even just with the dog or the cat, but let's talk about the dog. We have done selective breeding after selective breeding. We have done stuff to make a dog gigantic all the way to minuscule and with many different characteristics. If you saw these things in the wild, you would not think they're the same species, and yet they are. And so have we ever had evidence of one species transforming into the next? And yes, it keeps coming into my mind. The wheat seed in the pyramid, Spelten Gamut. It's a thing that doesn't even exist anymore. It's what wheat used to come from. Is that the ancestor of wheat? And like they can't crossbreed anymore? Is that true? Or is it a different grain that just went extinct? That's what I'm thinking. It was a different grain that went extinct. I don't think it was like wheat's ancestor. Maybe they had a common ancestor. I don't know. But did they really? And when they say, oh, your common ancestor this, common ancestor that, do they though? Do we have evidence of that at all? Or is that just something we've hypothesized? Is that, would that be part of the avenue of pseudoscience? Because they're just like projecting like, oh, because we believe in this, like we've definitely seen adaptation occur. Like we do the dog breeds and stuff. It just stands to reason that eventually it would turn into something else completely. And so we're just going to now project those ideas forward and then come up with other theories based on that. Is there actual science devoted to this? And how reliant is this house of cards on this one linchpin of an idea of, but what about the dog breeds? Like, what about us? What about these things? Like, how come we are not able to interbreed? Or how come we are able to interbreed despite how many genetic changes we do? And even with the dogs, how are they still able to interbreed even with all the genetic changes we've done? Could you create a new thing? Or would you, in order to create a new, with hybrids, basically, could you do a new thing with hybrids? Or are you just doing more hybrids? Like, are hybrids? Like, is the Bible right when they talk about things of their kind? It's like, this is the monkey kind. I mean, you can do like crosses of monkeys, but they're all going to be monkeys at the end of the day. Could you do hybrids? Like, are they actually different things, like different species? Maybe monkey isn't the best one because maybe there likely are different species of monkeys that cannot crossbreed. So I don't know. I'm just saying, it's weird to accept something as truth without actually knowing for sure. And it's weird to postulate it as truth to a generation of young minds who are trusting the adult overseers to tell them the correct information. And if the adults are just kind of repeating information they've been told, and it happens over and over and over and over, it would make sense that an entire generation could be somewhat duped into believing things. I mean, we talk about believing things all the time we learned in school that weren't quite right? Like old wives' tales and stuff. So like, I feel like it's a vast ethical problem overstepping something of science if it is making these pseudoscience-y claims that it doesn't actually know about just because it wants to perpetuate some kind of idea or agenda, or like discrediting religion for like some kind of like personal reason. I don't know what else it would be. Like, yeah. And do we need to discredit religion, or can we move forward together, hand in hand, as friends? You know, would that make more sense? Just trying to win, fight to see who's knowing the most. I don't know. I don't know what that would serve. How would that serve humans? Like, on both sides are claiming to serve humans. So how would lying or deceiving in any form ever be for the benefit of other humans? I mean, I think that's just a logical answer, and I think that's why these are God's laws, because it is rooted in actual reasons and law and logical truths. Like, it just makes sense to do.